Hey guys, welcome back to another Bitcoin update in Crypto Down Under. Um, Not a massive deal has happened since the last time I recorded a video yesterday. Uh, we've got further activity still above 60,000, which is a positive sign for the bulls. I would argue that we're still in an uptrend, obviously, from down here. We're still getting those higher highs, higher lows. We're just currently working on the next, pivot. So where's that going to take us? Are we going to come to the top here and challenge this high? Or are we going to lose this level and challenge this low here? This is why I've got these two yellow lines. Now, the low there is 59,500 roughly, and the high is 62,750. So that's the current range that we're in on the local sort of price action. So now there's another detail that I noticed while looking at this, and I'll just delete that bit. And the price action that occurred outside of this rising wedge, just over here, actually has produced another point of information for us to use, another data point. Data. I say data because I'm Australian. Anyway, so if we take that data point and let's use this trend line here. This is the base trend line for this rising wedge. I'm just going to delete that, and I'm going to grab our parallel channel tool down here. I'm going to lock the first pivot on the extreme low down here, and then I'm going to take this up to this pivot here, because this is the next major low pivot, I would argue. And now we've got the same baseline. Now if you take this up, look what happens. You've now got a parallel touch to here. So you can actually lock this onto the points. You can see it's locking onto the points. I'll lock it onto this first point, but you can see how it pretty much almost to the dollar lined up with a rejection at the top of what is a climbing channel now. So very interesting. I'm glad that we've now got that kind of distinction. I might even just jump into the settings of this channel and turn off the left side, because we don't really need the left side. Hit OK there, because that's where the channel begins. And yeah, we'll see if we drop out of it like a rising wedge, or whether we are due to come up and test the top of the rising channel, which would take us up, if it happens quickly, it might even take us up to 67, 68,000 to go test that high of what is a channel. There's so many possibilities of what can happen from here. We may even start losing the channel and drop out of what was the rising wedge and come down and challenge the lows again. We just have to play it as it comes. You work off confirmation. Don't try to predict the future, is what I would say. But you just got to know, I guess, have a feeling of where things are trying to suggest that they're heading by chart patterns. So rising wedges suggest down, falling wedges suggest up, that kind of deal. So let's zoom out a little. This was the hourly chart. You can see it's the Sunday candle now. Let's see, let me just hide all the drawings. I want to look at just candlesticks. So obviously the Thursday candle was a beautiful big bullish engulfing candle. Friday was a bit of a hanging man, like a hammer that appears at the top, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it has to go down from there. Here's a bit more of a better example of a hanging man just over here. It's a hammer that appears at the top of a trend, I believe, and it signals or signifies a turning point, which it did here. And then you got another hammer, which produced another up move, a down move, a hammer, which didn't actually eventuate into anything after that hammer. Notice that? And here is a classic example of the fact that candlestick shapes or candlestick patterns don't produce a guarantee outcome. There's no guarantee there of this, shooting up, and here's the perfect evidence of that. You've got a bearish engulfing candle. It threw us down for like 3 more days after that, 4 more days. And here we are, bullish engulfing, and typical Saturday, Sunday type price action. Everything's quite in a tight range. There's not too much drama going on. It's quite sideways and choppy at best. But yeah, that's the daily chart. Now let me turn the drawings back on, and we'll zoom out. Obviously, I don't think it's necessary for me to rehash the whole bull flag scenario. I've covered that so many times now already. We're still very much smack bang in the middle of that channel. It used to be a range, like what we were dealing with before we got these significant lower lows. We were dealing with more of like a rectangle range, like perfectly sideways. But yeah, now that we've got more information, we can see what it's actually producing. It's more of a channel, a descending channel, like a flag. Let's see, let's go back down to like, maybe even go to a smaller time frame, see if there's anything happening here. So you can see the precision is not there. It's perhaps this line needs some adjustment to encompass this action here. But I mean, look, that little push down and this little push down, that has not produced any devastating drop. I would argue we're still very much in this kind of channel. I don't think that's a threat. It's probably a wick at best. If you go to the hourly time frame, it probably looks like more of just a wick. Yeah, there's 2 candles that are just wicks to the bottom side. But we'll keep our eyes peeled. I think this could obviously still come down, produce a fall. Now, where that bounces is significant. Like, that'll be another tell. We may only fall, let's see, to this dotted trend line, which is, what is that line, by the way? Okay, that's the low from over here. We could get into contact with that dotted line and bounce. And lo and behold, that would still be, a higher low. If you take this low here, and then this would be the third low. But what we're working with now is 1, 2, 3 for now. Those are our lows, and everything's looking okay for now. All right, I think that pretty much covers what I wanted to talk about. It was mostly just this channel, the fact that we've got this high here, these lows and that low. That's enough information to produce a channel, and that's what we're in until further notice. All right. Thanks again, guys, for tuning in. Thank you, Jeru and Trago, once again for the music. And big thumbs up to you guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe, guys, if you haven't already, and leave a comment if you feel. And I'll catch you on the next one.